Hello, welcome to Rando Tech Info. So today we're talking about the Xiaomi 12 Pro and whether or not it will work on your US carrier's network. The Xiaomi 12 and 12 Pro, which launched in China back in December, have finally hit the global market. The Pro starts at $999 USD and comes packing most of the specs you would expect in a 2022 flagship. It has a big, bright 6.7-inch WQHD Plus display with a 1 to 120 Hz variable refresh rate, a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 processor, an impressive camera array sporting 3 50-megapixel sensors, and a 4600 mAh battery with 120-watt charging. Oh, and fun fact, the charger actually comes in the box.
Well, that's nice.
In the global market space, it could be argued that this phone is the biggest contender to Samsung's Galaxy S22 Ultra. And while options are usually a good thing, is the Xiaomi 12 Pro really a good option for US buyers? The first thing you need to know is none of the phones in the Xiaomi 12 lineup will be sold here in the US, so to get one over here, you will need to use a third-party seller, and using a third-party seller almost always voids your warranty. So if you get the phone over here and it doesn't work,
You're screwed.
the next thing you need to know is a lot of people in the US have been sharing stories in the comments of these videos about their network carriers no longer supporting imported or uncertified phones. And since the phone is not going to be certified to work on any US carrier network, there's a good chance the phone will not work properly over here, assuming you can even get it activated. And even if you do get the phone activated and get some decent service, your carrier has the right and the ability to stop supporting and cancel service to any uncertified device at any time. So just because your fancy new imported phone works today does not mean it will work tomorrow. Finally, it's important to understand that these issues are not specific to the major carriers like Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T. Since all the smaller and prepaid carriers like Mint and Cricket are owned by or use the major carriers' networks, these restrictions will typically apply to them as well. So because of all this, it's very hard to recommend importing any phone into the US at this time, much less a phone with the price tag of the Xiaomi 12 Pro. Something I can recommend if you're finding this video to be useful is a thumbs up and a sub to the channel.
Good idea.
Now, if you are the kind of person who likes to roll the dice and you are still interested in bringing the 12 Ultra into the US, I will let you know if the phone has the antennas and other hardware necessary to tap into your carrier's network frequency bands. By the way, the frequency bands that are able to be utilized by the Pro and the base Xiaomi 12 are the same, so everything I say about the Pro will actually apply to both phones. Verizon almost never lets non-certified devices on its network, which is a shame because the phone does use some of Verizon's frequency bands. You won't get much in the way of 5G, but the phone's hardware does support all of Verizon's 4G bands. So if by some act of God you get Verizon to activate the phone, you might get some solid 4G coverage. AT&T doesn't allow uncertified devices on its 5G network, but like Verizon, the phone has the hardware to utilize all of AT&T's major 4G bands. Sadly, however, since their 3G shutdown in February, it appears AT&T is kicking a lot of uncertified phones entirely off their network. So there's definitely a chance they will not play nice with the 12 Pro. T-Mobile has started kicking phones off its network that don't make use of its voice over LTE. And since this phone doesn't look like it will support that feature, there's a good chance T-Mobile won't even activate the phone, and even if they do, it may not work properly. All that said, the phone does have the hardware needed to tap into T-Mobile's mid-band 5G network, although you will not be getting any sub-6 or millimeter wave 5G. It can also make use of most of T-Mobile's 4G frequency bands, so if you can get the phone up and running, you might get some decent coverage, at least until they kick the phone off their network completely, which could happen down the road at some point. Well, that's all the information I have for today. If you're crazy enough to drop $1,000 on this phone and bring it over into the US, please feel free to come back here and let us know down in the comments how well the phone is working for you so we can all learn from each other and make more informed buying decisions. As always, I hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Rando Tech Info, signing out.